Yes, I just picked up this 1995 Kawasaki KZ1000P, aka the KZP, and we're going to get this thing unloaded. I'll give you a run through on this bike, give you some good knowledge on it, and then we'll see if this old police cruiser still has some life in her. This was Kawasaki's built specifically for law enforcement model. They came out in 1982, and it ran for a solid 23 years. All the way till 2005 they ran these things. And it was designed to compete with the Harley Davidson, try to get some market share. This has the infamous J model motor that came out in 1982, and these are a very tried and true bulletproof engine. The KZ1000 model before had a different engine, and they actually did have a police version of these too. This is my 1978. Very similar engine, but completely different. Well, similar looking, but nothing crosses over. And one of the best things I like about these 70s and early 80s 1000s is that they had a kickstart. Now, let's get this pig unloaded so we can jump in. All right, now that was a pain in the butt getting it down from the truck. The front brakes were locked up, so it made it very difficult to maneuver. But after I loosened these banjo bolts, I was able to free that wheel up, so that tells me this master cylinder is just gunked up and not releasing the brake fluid back into there after you depress the brakes. All right, so I bought this bike sight unseen. After seeing the pictures of it, I figured there could be no room to go wrong based on the pictures. The backstory is that it sat for a few years and it was parked because the officer retired. But I was told it had brand new tires on it, and sure enough, the DOTs, these tires were made the 54th week of 2018. So this thing really couldn't have sat for too long, which makes me a little worried, makes me wonder if it had some issues and that's why they retired it. I also noticed upon picking it up that the fuel lines are disconnected from the petcock here, so somebody was messing with it. Now real quick, while the J model engine is the same as the KZ1000J, quite a few differences on this bike. This front fender, pretty sweet, police-like fender. Nice big fiberglass fairing, or whatever this thing's made of, for your pursuit lights and wind protection. Of course, you got your siren down here, and this is a single rider bike, so no space for a passenger, although this seat is mighty comfortable. And then of course you got your radio communications box up here. Let's see what's in there. Looks like they took that out. Saddle bags. Let's see what's in those guys. And of course this bike came with crash bars all around on it. And you can see it did go down on this side at one point. Not bad though. So those things fit their purpose. Also, another difference on the police model is going to be these nice highway cruiser pads, or whatever you want to call them. But the brakes have been pushed all the way up here with a big long lever going back to the master cylinder back there. But yeah, back to these saddle bags. Looks like this one just has some electrical stuff and a ton of oil in it that has spilled out, so it's not good. Got this here that somebody added, maybe to put a shotgun in there or something, Terminator style, or just to hold a flag, who knows. Up on this fairing, you got some storage here. There's some fuses and such. Nice little pocket storage in these things. And nothing in this one. Here we got some more radio communications and what looks like, I guess, a board would go here to write up some tickets with a little light, a night light on there. And your radio mic hooks in right here. And yeah, so let's get a battery hooked up to this thing and see if anything works and if it's got compression or runs. Looks like the sirens work. That's cool. I just did a compression check on all 4 cylinders before even adding any oil, and they all have 150 psi across the board. So that's awesome to see. All right, quick tip for you. Anytime you're going to be putting fuel on a bike that's been sitting for some time, well, first of all, have a fire extinguisher nearby and put pig mat or pan under here because it may leak fuel out of the carburetors. But if you put the fuel on and it starts leaking and all, take a screwdriver or something and tap these bowls, because sometimes that'll loosen up the float if it might be stuck and causing them to leak. Then you're going to want to take a screwdriver and loosen each one of these petcocks on the bottom of the fuel bowls on both sides and drain the old fuel out of the bottom. If nothing comes out, take something and poke in there, because sometimes it gets blocked with rust or debris or something like that. So do that, but I didn't even have to go that far, because when I turned the fuel on, it started dripping out the bottom of the airbox, and so that means these floats are definitely stuck. I tried tapping them, but the fuel just started kind of spilling into the airbox here and into the bottom, and probably into the engine oil. It actually is a little bit overfilled, so I think I got fuel and oil. So I'm going to do an oil change, pop these carburetors off, clean those out, see what they look like. And then, you know, another common problem on these old KZs is the boots here where they attach to the head get dry rotted, and these will break when I take these carbs off. And so I usually want to get a set of these and replace those. Now the airbox boots usually are a problem too, but these ones are actually pretty darn soft, so I think I'll be able to reuse those, and I don't see any dry rot on them. But, you know, for shits and giggles, let's see if this thing starts up and what it does. I probably shouldn't do that because it's got fuel in the oil, but alright, well that's good news. Looks like she runs. I felt all the exhaust pipes. They're all getting nice and hot. And of course it runs rough, but I know I'm getting spark and running all 4 cylinders. So let me get these carbs popped off. We'll see what's going on with them. And then get this baby going down the road. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that oil had some gasoline in it. That's pretty bad. Definitely shouldn't even have ran this bike. I'm going to keep the carburetor cleaning and test drive to a part 2, because I feel like these J model engines, these were so popular. I'm sure there's a million other videos on how to clean and synchronize the carburetors on here, but I figure I'll do a no-nonsense know-how video on how to do that, and then include the test drive of this thing. Hey, comment down below let me know what you think of this police bike. Have you ever seen one or ridden one? Be sure to check out the part 2. Until next time, this is KZ Guy 2 here, No Nonsense Know How, and I'll see you later. Enjoy your day.